Boneston here. Today, we're going to be talking about something that is extremely important to you, and that is your mornings. It's going to change your days. It's going to change your nights. It's then going to change into your other days. And if you've ever heard any of my videos before, it's all about compounding your mornings, your afternoons, your nights, all into one day. Then later, over a course of a week, over the course of a month, over the course of a year, until you get to where you want. You can't compound one day, then take off. God didn't do that. God didn't go, hey, listen, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to rest for a month and a half, and then I'm going to do this. No. He rested on one day after being busy for 6 days, and that's the exact same thing for you, is that you need to compound your days. You need to compound your mornings. And that's where it starts, is when you wake up. What do you do when you wake up? So number one is no phone near you whatsoever. Hands down, the number one thing that stopped me from actually having lazy mornings is having a phone near me. If you have it near me, all you're going to do is go on social media, go on the internet, check your email, check your text messages, whatever the case is. It's on airplane mode. When you go to bed, how you wake up is how you go to bed. So number one is when you go to bed, you say, I'm going to have an awesome morning. I'm going to have a perfect amount of sleep. I'm going to wake up. I'm not going to snooze my alarm. Then you go to bed. Boom. How you go to bed is how you wake up. So then you wake up and then your phone is on airplane mode. It's nowhere near you. You have a separate alarm clock. When your alarm clock goes off, you get out of bed. You get out of bed. You don't snooze the alarm. If you snooze the alarm, as Mel Robbins says in Stop Saying You're Fine, it's when you snooze your alarm, it's a subconscious decision, subconscious action that you're actually snoozing your dreams. You're snoozing what you actually want to do in life. So number one is phone on airplane mode, nowhere near you. Number two, have an alarm, a separate alarm, that when it goes off, you get out of bed. Once you're out of bed, you're out of bed. You start making your bed. Because once you start making your bed, you're never going to go back into bed. The reason I'm so passionate about this is the number one thing that actually stopped me from being lazy, from being a serious candidate for succeeding, a serious candidate for achieving my goals is my mornings. And you ask anyone that's successful in life, their mornings are extremely important. Their mornings set up the rest of their day, and I'll continue with it. I just had to get that out, because you'll think about it like, well, I just had a bad lunch, or I just didn't exercise, or that affects your whole day. When you say no, that's subconsciously saying no to what other things you're going to say throughout the day. When you start saying yes, I'm going to not check the internet, which is willpower. That takes willpower. I'm going to get out of bed. That takes willpower and stay out of bed. I'm going to make my bed. That takes willpower, and that takes a yes attitude. What other yeses can you feel? And it's funny, people that go to the gym consistently will say that if they miss 1 or 2 days, they just feel weird inside. They feel like this sloth. And it's the same thing when you have a bad morning going into your day. You're like, I just don't feel like doing anything. It's because of your mornings. So number one, I already explained. So now you're out of bed, you made your bed. What do you do? Okay, so there's a book called, I also linked Mel Robbins' book, Stop Saying You're Fine, below. I'm also going to link the unbelievable book called Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod, and that's where I get the acronym Sabers, Savers. I also will link the book review of that below. So essentially, Hal has something called Sabers. Sabers, which is silence, affirmations, visualizations, exercise, reading, and scribing, also known as journaling. And you do that, and you only do it for about 3 minutes each. 3 times, what is that, 6? If you can't do that in the morning, you don't have a life, because your affirmations and your visualizations are your goals. Silence is getting you presence. Exercise is getting your heartbeat. Reading is obviously for your mind and your knowledge. And scribing, journaling, is actually holding you accountable and giving you a real-time feedback of what are you doing right? What can you change? What can you do wrong? And I'll do a video on how I journal. Journaling is super important. It's something that I just started doing. So I do that. I wake up. Phone's nowhere near me. I have another alarm that wakes me up. I don't snooze it, and start making my bed. Start preparing my gym bag. I then come down the steps. I come downstairs. I start vlogging. Once I'm done vlogging, I put it onto the computer. I start uploading it to YouTube. Then I start my savers. Actually, right before that, I drink a glass of water. Water is super important in the morning. You have to have water. If you don't have water in the morning, because you just went 8 hours or 7 hours or 6 hours without drinking any water, imagine that throughout the day. Imagine you go from 9 to 3 or 9 to 2 without drinking any water, and people are like, oh, I do that all the time. That's not good, okay? Water is literally vitality. I have a book over there. It's literally called Clean Living. It's like water cleans your body. It just, don't add tea or protein mix and think, oh, that's water or whatever. So I come downstairs, I video, then I go down and I go down to my couch and I just sit there, I go silence, then I start doing affirmations, then I do visualizations, exercise is later on, reading is later on, and then I start journaling, okay? Once I get up, glass of water, then I go over, I have a Breville, which is a juice maker. I'll link that below. If you haven't seen the movie Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, you have to watch it. You will flip upside down what you're eating right and wrong. And what they say is 3 months, every 3 months, your skin, you have brand new skin, from whether you just rub it and skin cells come off or it rejuvenates or whatever, every 3 months. That's why they say twins, when they're born and they're about, 30 years old, they start looking dissimilar, and then they're 40. It's because their skin starts totally changing and morphing based on what they eat, what they do, how they think, how they feel. So number one is your skin is actually a byproduct of what you eat. What you eat becomes your skin. So if you eat like crap, your skin will be crap. If you eat a lot of salt, your skin will be dry, your body will be dry, your face will be dry, it'll be wrinkly, you just will, and obviously the health benefits outside of that besides the physical appearance. So water, then I go over and I juice. I'll have a video about juicing. Breville is what I have. I have the XL, which is the big guy, and it's like a powerful guy, it just crushes everything into a juice. When you juice, and I'll have a video about this, but watch the movie Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. When you juice, I cannot tell you how ridiculous you feel afterwards because you're actually you're giving your body nutrition that it needs. It's all the nutrients that you've actually pushed away, shunned away, because in favor of bread or meats or processed food or worse, sugary drinks and processed sugar and saturated fat and all these. Yes, you need saturated fat, but juicing is the best way. So number one, I'll just review it. Alarm goes off. I get out of bed. My phone is on airplane mode, so even if I had text messages or emails or whatever, and by the way, here's a side note, is don't have any notifications on your phone. I literally only have notifications for a text message or a phone call. I have nothing else. I don't have anything for weather or Instagram or mail or whatever. I'm not on Snapchat, so nothing. No Facebook, nothing. It's just text messages, it's just phone calls. So my phone is on airplane mode. It's nowhere near me. I get out of bed, I turn off the alarm. The alarm is nowhere near me. Turn off the alarm. This is all a mental thing because I knew if I had my alarm next to me, I would snooze it and go back to bed. If I had my phone next to me, I would just play with my phone and just be like, oh, okay, da-da-da. So you have to know yourself. You have to know where you screw up. If you don't feel like you're going to be exercising, sleep in your gym clothes. Put your gym clothes right there. So when you get out of bed, boom, you got to put your gym clothes on. That's the number one thing. Sleep naked and put on your gym clothes. It doesn't matter. Like whatever your foibles are. My foibles are, I'm like go, 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 like kind of guy. I'm like, let's go. Like, and I also am like instant gratification sometimes. In other areas, not. But if there's an instant gratification, it's really hard. So I have to train myself. I also have to remove the obstacles in my way that prevent me from actually, or I have to create obstacles, I should say, So if the phone is near me and it's on airplane mode, dude, I have to go through extra steps to actually get it off airplane mode to check, which I don't do. So I get out of bed, I snooze the alarm, it's nowhere near me, I start making the bed, I come downstairs, I start vlogging, then I start doing Sabers, which is linked below, Savers, I already explained that. I start doing that, I get up, drink a glass of water, then start the juice machine, which is celery, cucumbers, carrots. I put it all in there. It comes out as a nice juice thing. I drink it. So I've had a glass of water. I juiced. And then I also have right here in my refrigerator, I have some krill oil right there. And I also have a nice multivitamin. So I have those. So I have the krill oil. And I have that right after I juice. So I then am prepared for the day. Pack everything up, go to the gym. There's my exercise. On the way to the gym, I read because I live in New York City. I have a subway, so I read. I do everything, and I'm telling you right now, when you layer this, you'll start seeing, like, you'll feel weird because it's out of your comfort zone. You're not used to it, but the thing is, you'll actually feel amazing. You'll feel more present when you walk out in the world. You'll start seeing negativity and places to avoid and friends and influences that just, you're like, let's just keep some distance because you know where you are. You're on your path. So what I can say about affirmations and visualizations is just have 3 goals. I have 4. I have 4 goals that I want to do, and I'm looking at them right now. And that's it. As well, I'm actually looking at my morning routine. I have time frames. 5 to 5:15, I get ready. 5:15 to 5:30, 5:30 to 5:50, 5:50 to 6, da-da-da. And then it says leave by 6:30 for the gym. You have to have a time frame for everything. I hope this helps. You need a morning routine. If you have no morning routine, you have no life. If you cannot wake up an hour early, you're not going to achieve your dreams. You should just unsubscribe right now. Seriously. Because if you don't consciously do what you want to do in the morning to achieve what you want to do later on in the day, which is go for business, approach that pretty girl, start vlogging, go to the gym, start a business, have a better relationship with your spouse. If you don't do that in the morning, if you don't do the things that you need to do in the morning, visualize saying I love you to your spouse, visualize approaching that pretty girl or asking that girl out on the date. If you don't visualize that or affirm it to yourself in the morning, you're never going to do it. And as Brian Tracy says, you're just going to be on someday aisle. Someday aisle, which is brilliant. Someday I'll approach that girl. Someday I'll start a business. Someday I'll wake up early. Someday I'll exercise. Everyone lives on someday aisle. It's too easy. So get a morning routine. I'm Charles Poston. Subscribe to this video. I come out with a new one every single day, as well as my blogging channel, and follow me on Instagram. I will talk to you guys tomorrow.